Alright, hey guys, remember it was TCG back then video, and this video I'm going to bring you guys a Gladiator Beast deck profile, and this is for Master Duel. So, it's been a minute since I updated my deck. I decided to change the deck up a bit. It just didn't have a lot of hand traps or ways to deal with your opponent, and I decided to add a little bit of that. So here I'm going to get started. I have 3 copies of Ondo. I still think Ondo is integral to the deck. I've seen people run the other build where you can run, I forgot what it's called, but the level 3 Gladiator Beast monster, and you can use Rescue Cat to get it out, and that's nice because you don't have to run Unexpected Die, and that can open up the deck quite a bit. But decided that it just wasn't consistent enough. I decided that Ondo is just too good. Being able to get Ondo out here and then go into your Link Spider means that there's a lot of times where you can just save your normal summon. So I think Ondo is the way to go. You can even, if they hit your Unexpected Die, then you can go into your Rescue Rabbit and do that. So that tends to work for me. I added 2 copies of Maxi because I think Maxi is really great. This is a going second build, so being able to hit your opponent with some hand traps just means that you can slow them down. And Maxi is really good for this deck because sometimes you can just drop bricks, and being able to use Maxi here in order to draw some cards out can really help you out. And then I have 3 copies of Test Tiger. I've seen some people drop it, just run 2 copies. I think the 3rd copy is worth it. This card is just nice, just being able to special summon it out. It's the only monster really in this deck that you're able to just get out like this without having to use another card. So being able to use this to go into your Test Panther, I think is really necessary here. 2 copies of Ash Blossom. Again, just another hand trap. Since this going second build, you just want to be able to hit your opponent with something, slow them down really. Then we have 1 copy of Bestiari. So Bestiari I think is still pretty necessary, just because it's nice to be able to pop something out when it gets out. And not only that, but it's an easy monster to go into Gyzarus that doesn't require you to go into Beast Tamer Editor, so I like having 1 copy of it. Darius is nice as well, as you're able to get a monster out from your grave, and then you can go into your Esadari. So that's really nice for that. And then I dropped the 2nd copy of the quest, and now I just run 1 copy. I still think this card is really necessary just because you're able to get back your Gladiator Beast comeback, and this card is still the best card in the deck. So I decided to just drop 1 copy just to add more hand traps. 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit. This card I think is still integral to the deck. Being able to normal summon this out, get 2 Ondos, and then go straight into your Test Panther. I just still think that's just the best way of running the deck. Besides going into like the whole Tri Brigade build here. I'm just trying to make a pure Gladiator Beast build, and it's definitely still a work in progress. It's always gonna be a work in progress, but so I'm always hoping, I'm always open to hearing you guys like your recommendations or what you would add or what you would change. And then I have 1 copy of Adarix because this card, just being able to turn into whatever Glad Beast you want, is nice. Noxious. Again, these are just the level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters just to make it easier to go into Tamer Editor. Santa Claus is nice because it is your form of removal. It's your kaiju for the deck. Then we have Vespasius here, being able to use this card as a level 5 or higher monster. That's definitely the only role it's going to play. Same thing with Augustus. Well, actually, Augustus is a better version of Vespasius here. Just being able to use Augustus in order to bring itself out is really nice. This card, it's just really good. I do recommend the 2nd copy because you can use Augustus' effect to bring itself out. So it's pretty insane. This card is just really good here. Then we have Nibiru here, just another hand trap that also clears the board. That's always nice to see. 3 copies of Unexpected Die because this is a 1 card starter. Synergizes really well with the Gladiator Rejection as well. 3 copies of Gladiator Beast's Comeback. This card I still think is really integral to the deck. Not only are you able to use this to extend by getting a Tamer Editor back out, and then just get out whatever other Gladiator Beast fusion monster you want to get out. If you're in a bad situation, you can just get one of your Glad monsters out. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and then just attack into something. If you attack something, then during your battle phase, you're going to be able to switch out and just play from there. It gives you a lot more options. Now I decided to add the 3rd copy of Dark Ruler No More. If you're going with the second build like I am, this card is necessary at 3. Just being able to hit your opponent with the Dark Ruler No More makes it very difficult for them to interact with you during their turn. If they establish a board, then this is the card you always want to see. We have 1 copy of Triple Attack Silence. If they try to play during your turn, this gives you some options as well. Then I have 3 copies of Gladiator Rejection. I've seen some people run 2 copies. I can see the argument for it. I just like having the 3rd copy. I like seeing this. Just making it so your Gladiator Beast monsters can't be targeted means that they can't be impermed, and it makes it a lot more difficult for your opponent to hit them with stuff. Not only that, but if a Gladiator Beast monster is special summoned from your main deck, then you're able to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck with a different type. So using Unexpected Die or Rescue Rabbit, we're able to just use this card to get another Glad Beast monster out, which makes it a lot easier because that gives you something to shuffle with Test Panther, or just lets you get out whatever Glad Beast you need in order to go into your Tamer Editor, go into Gyzarus, whatever you want to go into. I just think this 3rd copy is pretty good. 2 copies of Called by Grave because you just want ways to deal with your opponent's hand traps. Same thing with crossout designator. If you're having to go first because your opponent wants you to go first, then you have this to deal with their hand traps, and you have crossout to deal with their hand traps. And if you go second, this still works. You know, you're still able to, if they still have some hand traps in their hand, being able to use this to hit something is really nice. This is a new card that I decided to add here. I'm still testing it, but I've been liking the results with it. I'm going to show duels later for you guys to watch. That's just going to show you guys Gladiator Beast at action with this build. And yeah, this card, I've been able to use it a couple times. Gladiator Beast United. Just being able to, during the battle phase, shuffle into your deck from your hand, field, or graveyard the fusion materials listed. So you're just basically able to fusion summon during your battle phase. And you're locked into only attacking with Gladiator Beast, which is fine. That's usually the only monsters you're going to attack with anyways, besides like Appaloosa. So I think it's totally fine to use this here. And it just gives you options. Sometimes you get bricks, like in the form of 2 Augustus in your hand, or Spacius, or maybe you even get a Noxious, or I guess Adrix is fine because you're able to normal summon it. But in the forms of these, like if you happen to get these in your hand, they're just total bricks, especially if your opponent slows you down. And this card just gives you more openings, so you can go into your battle phase and then play from there. So I think United is really good, and I personally liked it in the deck so far. And before I go to the extra deck, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 subs, guys, so I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed if you're enjoying the content. And make sure to stay tuned because I am going to be making Gladiator-based duels for you to see. So yeah, and here I run 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Asadari. I've been like going in and out of running this card. Decided to run it again. I just think it's a good card. Being able to get this out, you know, it just makes it easier to go into Tamer Editor, because if you get Darius, get another level 4 out, go into Asadari, and you happen to have an Augustus, then boom, you can go into your Tamer Editor. Geyseris, I still think is really good. This card is insane for this deck. Just being able to pop cards, 2 cards every time it's out. It's not a hard once return at all. So everything you special summon this card out, you're able to just pop things. Not only that, but it's one of the only Glad Beasts where if you attack, you actually get 2 Gladiator Beast monsters out of it. So Geyser's just really great. And then here we have Heraclinos. So this card, Spell and Trap Negate, equal to the amount of cards you have in your hand. Busted card. If you can set up your field really well, like I'll show you guys in the duel, this is a really powerful card because you can set up something like Appaloosa and Heraclinos, set on it. Now you have monster and spell trap negates for days. On the bottom, being able to just get out the Geyseris, pop something out. Tamer Editor, of course, this card is like the goated fusion for this deck. Being able to use this, go into Damatianis, Geyseris, whatever you need. 2 copies definitely still must. Not even a hard once return. Such a good card. Then we have Damatianis here. It's your monster negate. Not only that, but you're actually able to control battles. So if your opponent tries to attack your Appaloosa, just make it attack Damatianis. Abyss Dweller, so I decided to add this card. If your opponent happens to hit you with some things, and you happen to have 2 level 4 monsters out, just go into your Abyss Dweller. If they happen to be playing Terror or whatever, then this is going to be, at least you're going to be able to slow them down and make it difficult for them to finish you. Link Spider, as I covered before, just go into Ondo, and if you have another Ondo in your hand, then boom, even better. Then we have Gladiator Beast Dragosis here. So this card, still, I can't believe I didn't run in the beginning. This card is just really insane. Being able to just get, for 2 Gladiator Beast monsters to get Dragosis out, means that all of your Gladiator Beast monsters can't be destroyed by battle, and it becomes an Armadas basically for each one. So that means that you're just able to protect all of your Glad Blades, just crash into anything, and yeah, start triggering their effects at the end of that. Not only that, but Dragosis, again, like I covered with Geyseris, he's actually able to special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters out when you shuffle this card back into the deck. So insane card, definitely you should run. 2 copies of Test Panther. This card's really good, just being able to search out a card. Most of the time I'm going to be searching out Gladiator Beast Comeback, unless I don't have anything to get out, then I have to search out an Augustus or something. But usually that's what I'm going to be searching out with it. This card is still pretty insane. It sucks that it doesn't have Gladiator Beast in the name, which means that it's not protected by Gladiator Rejection or by all the other Gladiator Beast cards, so that could be a little annoying, so just remember to keep that in mind while you're playing with it. Then we have Cross Shape here. If you happen to summon a fusion monster onto it, let's say you have a Cross Shape, we use Gladiator Beast Comeback, put the Tamer Editor on its corner, then you can actually Cross Shape in order to bring out one of your monsters, then you can use Tamer Editor's effect in order to get out whatever fusion monster you want to get out, and then go into your Appaloosa. So really easy like that. And then Appaloosa, of course, the most prominent card that you're going to go into. that isn't a Glad Beast monster, you're going to be going into this card a lot. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Make sure to let me know what you guys think. I also did try things like fusion deployment. I think it has potential, but it just locks you into fusion monsters, which I think is pretty devastating for this deck, just because you do need Test Panther. This is your go-to card. And even though I know a lot of people want to avoid having to rely on it, it's just a really good card to go into. And personally, I can't see myself running fusion deployment, especially at 3 copies. It just will hit the consistency of the deck, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think and what you guys would change, and test this deck out. Let me know how it goes for you, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.